Grace and peace. I am Pastor Renee Teague, the pastor of Enon United Methodist Church in Studley, Virginia, and it is wonderful to talk with you today. Not all day long has seemed wonderful. I felt fairly betwixt and between this morning, and I'm sure that some of you have had those moments, where you look back and you're like, well, I did all these things thinking it was going to be this way, and now it's that way, and I don't know if what I did then makes any sense for the way it is now, blah, 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 blah. Well, the Lord sent a psalm today, Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing. Know that the Lord is God. It is he that made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, bless his name. For the Lord is good, his steadfast love endures forever, and his faithfulness to all generations. I think I've used that enter his gates with thanksgiving piece so often, referring to coming into the sanctuary to get ready for in-person worship like we knew for so long. I think that now I've kind of limited it to be just that, when indeed enter his gates with thanksgiving could well mean just wherever I go and whatever I do, because it also says it is God who has made us. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. So whatever we're doing, we are God's. And wherever we go, we are entering the gates of God, and we are to enter those gates with open hearts and thanksgiving. Well, this past week while I was visiting my parents in Alabama, I opened an old wardrobe and came across all of these old Shape Note hymnals. Now, I know a lot of you don't know what I'm talking about. A few of you do. But I have this whole collection now of Shape Note hymnals. So Shape Notes, if you read music, notes on a page are usually all exactly the same shape. They're all round. But if you look at these very closely, you'll see that they are triangles and all kinds of other shapes. Those are shape notes. And the people who read them don't read the lines and spaces up and down. They read the shape of the note. I have an aunt that reads shape notes. And then there are people that sing them, that sing fa sol la. And so they don't sing the words, they sing fa sol la, which is another whole art form. But I have these, I like a whole bunch of them. And so I got this one. Look at this. This one is from 1925. 1925. And the hymns that are in it, most of them were written that year. Evidently, the publishers of these books also composed most of the music. 1925. They had just survived a pandemic that killed hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And they were right there after World War I and barreling toward World War II. This hymnal survived that. It's a little rough for the wear, I think. But it survived all that. And then these words, people sang them in church and at home around the piano. They sang them through World War II, and they sang them through the Great Depression in the opposite order. They sang them through the massive racial tensions of the 60s. And because I know where shape notes are typically sung, they sang them through decades and generations of poverty. And of not having quite as much as they needed and working very, very hard for what they had. They didn't typically go hungry because they were on farms, but they didn't have very much beyond that. And this psalm says what a lot of these songs do. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing. No, we're not going to be allowed to sing an in-person worship for who knows how long. But we can still sing when we come into the presence of God. We come into the presence of God every time we pause and consider God's presence with us. Every time we consider it. And if we consider God's presence with us for just a little bit, then we realize that we aren't alone in all of this. That we can sing praise to God because through the death and resurrection of Jesus the Christ, all the world is reconciled unto God. Eternity is in God's hands. We are beloved children of the Creator. And we live on an earth, on a planet that is spectacular. We can't change yesterday, but we have every opportunity to change tomorrow, and that is wonderful. That is wonderful. We don't have to get swallowed up in our mistakes and the things we shouldn't have done, and even all of the mistreatments. We can change tomorrow. I say we do it. And I have a sense that the best way we can do it is by making a joyful noise unto the Lord, to worship the Lord with gladness, to come into his presence with singing, to enter his gates with thanksgiving. And it will straighten today and put promise back in tomorrow, whatever tomorrow may be. Well, I was looking through this other book, hoping that I would come across a hymn that fit. This one isn't quite as old. This one is from 1965. I was 5. From 1965, a collection of gospel songs and hymns, practical and inspiring for religious services of all kinds, conventions, singings, also radio and television. And I came across a hymn that I think is even in a United Methodist hymnal, but it's a lot more fun in shape notes. Count Your Blessings. Now I'm having to read the music because I can't really sing this one off the cuff, so you just have to bear with me. When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. I think a few blessings counted would lift our hearts in praise. We are blessed with one another. We are blessed with the warmth of summer. We are blessed with good tasting food to eat. We are blessed, richly blessed, with the presence of Jesus the Christ, no matter where we are. Amen.